Hi, it's Charlie giving you Friday's live trading video. I'm actually trying to record, well, I'm recording this at the moment on Thursday. It's Thursday lunchtime, 12 to just coming up to 12:30. This is a picture of the a chart of the euro dollar. It's ECB day. I don't think we should be expecting too much volatility today, but you never know. So I thought, well, if I can record today, if we get a bit more volatility today, then at least the recording's all done to then go out tomorrow, Friday, as you watch it. So there you go. That's the little intro. Just looking at the euro dollar here. Before the news, we've got about an hour really. We've got the news, the initial announcement coming out at 12:45, and then really it's the press conference which usually gets the markets moving around a bit more normally, and so we'll see how we go. Although it's a low expectation event, this one, so I don't think it's going to be any change in rhetoric. So we go out to the daily chart of the euro dollar. We can see that the euro got up to this 114.40 line that I've had on my charts for, well, basically since 2015. Actually, there was no point scrolling it back there. I'll take you out to a weekly chart and show you that. So going all the way back to 2015, I've been using this horizontal resistance, and it's important to keep resistance lines and trend lines on your charts all the time they're in play. So anyway, that's what's going on there. So back out to the daily chart. So it reacted to that yesterday, and it might still react some more yet. So we got up into there, and it's obviously all these prior highs. So we might have some more to react, but I'm also conscious that this high, the highs from early March up at 114.94, I think it is, that still hasn't been tested yet. So if we did get a strong move to run to the upside today, this afternoon, I will buy it. I'm well aware that it could be that the euro's had a nice run here over the last few weeks. Really got a bit overlappy, up day, down day, up day, down day, but it's been coming up the last several days, and that it's hit resistance and it may want to come off. So I'm well aware of all of that, but at the same time, the trend in the short term and over the, well, whatever you want to call it, medium term, over the last couple of months or more, has been to the upside since it bottomed out in March. So, but really only took off once we broke the last lower highs over here. So we'll see. So if it does come up, then I'll be looking to get on the long side. What happens if it comes down? Well, I've been talking to the guys in the trading room here today. I'm with them. This is a 4-hour chart, so it's come down to its 4-hour 20 and it's bounced. We've got some negative momentum, which you can't quite see the chart of the MACD down here. It's just off the screen. So there's a bit of MACD negative momentum, but the trend's up. So I'll have to just consider it if it does start to break down. I do think we've got these highs down here, which could want to be tested down in the 113.65 area. So that is a level if it does want to roll over. I just want to keep my options open, but preferably coming down to the hourly chart. If we have a bit of a shoot up back above sort of or in the 114.20 plus zone, then I'll be looking for opportunities to get long. So that's going to be the plan. I'll press pause for now. Okay, just back here, and this is the 5-minute chart of the euro. What I'm actually looking at here, it's been a pretty slow day here today. Just take that order ticket off for a minute. We didn't really get anything out of ECB. I wasn't expecting much, but you never know. What I'm going to look for is a break of this high and just see if it can go. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a half position in, and then if it does go, then I'll add up here in the 114.40s, up against these highs, admittedly, but that's what I'll look to do. So rather than, I don't think that it warrants putting in a whole position here, even on this, just because of the price action the way it's been today. But I'll put it in an order in to buy if it can go. So let's put an order. So we're going to go for a buy stop at 114.25 with a stop loss at 114. 03. I was going to put it in at 02, but that will stop me out at 02. So So put that order in. So a half size position so far here today, if it breaks out. And then if it does break out, it can have a bit of a run. If it even gets up there to take the order, then we'll see if we can get a bit of a run, and it might get a slow burn up into 114.60 or something like that. You never know if it can go, and then really then maybe hold that into tomorrow. But I don't even know if we're going to get filled. Really not sure. This could still easily just back off here. So we'll see. I'll press pause for now. I have. Have I already been triggered in? No, I haven't. The order's there. Right, sorry guys. We can see the euros coming up here. So looking like, if I take this to a 5-minute chart, it's yeah, it looks like it's probably going to get filled. In fact, that stop may be able to be moved a little bit, but I'll leave it down there at where it is for now. But haven't been triggered in yet, but it's getting close. So I'll press pause for now. Just and it could very easily just be noise, and it comes back off, and then nothing. So we'll have to see. But certainly getting close to something for the day. Really slow day today. Okay, just back, and it's just about to take me, I think. I've still not quite been filled yet. I think it might do in a second, though. Oh, I think it has. I'm just looking off screen. Yeah, it has. Okay, so being filled. I don't think this stop's going to need to be down at 0.2 or whatever, so I'm going to bring it over. Where's the trade gone? So immediately, I think this stop's going to be moved up. Yeah. So immediately I can move this stop up to, well, I can move it to 0.5, but actually, let's just have a look at the higher time frame before, because sometimes you look at it on a 5-minute chart and you think, oh yeah, now I'm pretty sure 0.5's all right, but I don't want to move it up too much more than that, because sometimes you can look at the chart, yeah, 0.5's all right, but I wouldn't want it any higher than that. Yeah, okay. So stop move to 0.5, which is going to it'll do me a favour if that can get there. I'll just show you the trade. Ignore the overall P&L. That's all of my positions. So it's this one here that I've just got in. It filled me at 114.26, and there's the stop at 0.5. Okay, they're just swing positions. The others, I think I've been showing that. Don't obviously include them in what I'm doing here. So we wait and see. It's been a boring day today, as I've been sort of saying here. Didn't even start the recording until late. If we can carry on in this vein though and get up there into the 114.40 zone, then I don't mind putting another unit in up there, move the stop up a little bit on this, and then get another unit in somewhere up here. I don't mind paying up if that's the way it's going to be. Of course, it could double top. That's a risk as well. But could I just sit back on the half position I'm in? Well, that could still happen yet. Depends on the price action. What I'm looking for is ultimately to see if the euro can work its way to this high, as I said. Hopefully I said earlier on in the recording, around about 114.94, which would still be nice enough. Getting in at 26, so yeah, 70 odd pips. If it could get there, I wouldn't expect that to happen today. I think that'd be a big asking for that today, but it might get there by the morning. So I'll have to we'll see what happens with the recording. I can leave the recording software on, really. But anyway, I think we're getting a little bit ahead of myself there. I'm just talking about the potentials there. So the trend is up. I was saying to the guys this morning, I didn't want to trade the euro on the short side. Not that it couldn't have come down more, but it was going against that trend that it's been in. Then it was a case of then sort of really wanting to wait for the ECB. ECB itself was a damp squib, didn't really do much, wasn't expecting a huge amount, but you never know, might get something happen. But as it's turning out, we're getting a bit of a run after a very quiet day so far, and now getting a bit of a run to the upside. This is similar to what I was trading in the trading room the other day when I bought with the guys The other day it was on this candle over here, and we had a bit of a run in the afternoon off a 5 minute chart, sort of somewhere within that. At the moment, it's a similar type of thing, mid-afternoon, and then taking a trade, and then it's a case of, does it run out of gas, or can it push on through? If we go back to the daily chart, the daily range isn't much, but then yesterday's range wasn't much, so we'll see. Anyway, I'll press pause for now, and we'll come back to this again. Okay, just back. And so what we're now going to do, we've had that move, doing a bit of a pullback. Just saying to the guys here that I'm going to now put another order in up there at 137. So let's do this. I've got buy, stop. Yeah, so this will be the next unit, 114.37. And the stop loss on that will then be at 114.08. If I get filled on that, then I'll move the other stop up to 114.08 as well. So, and then it could be quite aggressive depending on how the market moves. So it does, start pushing through that level, then I can then maybe being a bit more aggressive, because it needs to break out. It's one of those ones again where, yeah, it's got to go. Otherwise, it's just going to come back within this whole range here today, which is the daily chart, which could just happen, and we end up on a spinning top doji or whatever. So the order is in there for 114.37, a little bit higher up. See if it can then go, and if it can then have a bit of a run. I've been watching these other markets as well. I've been watching the cable and the Aussie, so I'm watching how other markets are moving. They've had a nice little runs as well, so we'll just see if this is going to be able to continue across. So we've had a bit of dollar weakness coming this afternoon now, but I'm being cautious with it on this euro, and I'm not just buying a pullback here on the euro dollar. So I've put that next order in. I'm not buying it through this. I'm going to buy if it breaks out a little bit. So and then I'll just keep tracking the stop up a little bit if it can break out. So there we go. That's what I'm up to here today, with the potential to see if it can have a bit more of a run. We'll worry about it. If it can get up to 114.60, I'll start having a think about. At 114.94 is still on my radar, but from getting in at 114.25 area, I think it got filled at 26. If it got up to 60, then it might be okay, that would be a first profit target off that first entry maybe. But anyway, let's press pause for now, and we'll come back to this. Okay, and what we're waiting for now is this order at 37 to get taken, but it's 3:15 in the afternoon. This could very easily just have run out of steam. It's very slow price action generally today. I know you think, oh yeah, that had a good run there and stuff, but actually when you're watching it in real time, it's been quite slow price action. I know we got triggered in, and we're in this trade with half, and it'll add the second half if it comes up to 37. But I'm going to take the dog out for a little spin, take him out for a quick walk, and then come back to this. So it might be that it rolls over while I'm gone and comes all the way down, in which case I'll get stopped out on half a position. Or maybe it does come up and it triggers me in. We'll see what happens when I get back. Okay, just back, and I've just got back from walking the dog, and I was triggered in. Let's take this to the 5-minute chart. So triggered in 38, and it's then pretty much immediately pulled back while I've been out. So now we've just got to sit on it and see what happens. But it's 4 o'clock, and I think that the market's probably going to run out of gas. It feels like it's already running out of gas from looking at the candles here. So I could obviously close out, but first of all, I need to sort the stop out on the first entry, which is still down at 05. So let's move that up so that's in keeping with the other one. And then I'll have a look and see whether I want to move the stop up anymore. 10 looks tempting. Let's have a look at the 30-minute chart. That's not really telling me much in that regard. So it's really just a case of, do I want this to... I think the thing is, when you get to this time of the day, this is exactly sort of what happened to us when we were trading on Tuesday, and we bought this breakout sort of back here, had a nice little run, but then sort of ran out of gas, and that was well into the evening, by that stage. So 7, 8 o'clock. So I'm supposed to be doing this as a day trade, and knowing full well that the targets, I could have to hold on to them for tomorrow, but I just think that this sort of had to go here this afternoon. Don't get me wrong, it still could go. It's 4 o'clock, but as we can see, it's starting to come off a little bit, just a bit. And I think that I'm pushing it to ask for a breakout at this time of day. Anyway, in the trade now, so I've moved the stops of both at 114.08, so it should be a risking around about £200 roughly, maybe slightly over. And we'll see how it goes. I might move that stop up to 10, but other than that, that'll be it. So yeah, it's just below the bands and stuff, so it's giving it enough room, but I don't want it to pull back too much because I really want this to. It's either got to go or that's it. It'll just roll all out, come over and get messy. So I'll move that stop up to 114.10 and leave it at that for now. I'll press pause. Okay, finally just back, and it's now 7 p.m. So as you can see, it's rolled over. I've been stopped out, so we'd move the stops up a little bit. So I've 0.85 of an R I've booked as because I trailed those stops up to 114.10. I'll bring the thing over in a moment. And so well, we got to say here. Well, actually, what we've seen is the euro, the pound, they've all rolled over. They all had these nice runs up early afternoon, and they've all sort of rolled over. I think euro, pound, Aussie, they've all done a similar thing. So a bit of a strange, funny day today. There were no follow through in either direction particularly. Anyway, so like I said, it's 7 o'clock. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to continue with this video going into tomorrow because I'm in the trading room tomorrow. I wanted to get this wrapped up, but as I've only had the one trade all day today, if I get a trade in the morning or whatever tomorrow, then I'll do that. But in the meantime, let's. These are the two trades down the bottom here. Forget all of these. So it was minus 117, minus 69. So whatever that comes out at, we'll call that minus 190. Yeah, because it was risking a bit over 200 today at the beginning of that trade. So I always say sort of 200-ish, 200 to 300 I'll try and risk. So yeah, we'll come back to this tomorrow, and I'll press pause for now, and we'll see what this all looks like tomorrow morning, and then take it from there. Take care for now. What am I saying take care for now for? Just pressing pause. But I'm going to be going to bed. Hello, and now it's tomorrow. It's now Friday. I've left the recording software on overnight, and so the euro's gone sideways overnight, having fell from when I last talked about it, and all it's done is gone sideways so far overnight. I was just talking to the guys in the trading room here. A lot of the markets are pretty flat here so far today, and sort of just waiting to see how it's going to go. So not particularly interested in trading this euro on the short side, and the only way I trade it on the long side, if we get back above my key moving averages, way back up here again, happy to trade it on the long side because that's where the trend has been. But we've got a very tight range so far, so the range will get extended. Look at the tiny range so far. It's only at 7 minutes past 8 in the morning at the moment. So the range will extend. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Now, if it comes down, what I probably won't do is trade the euro, but I may well trade the pound if they start rolling over. The pound, we've got a bit more negative momentum, which you can't quite see off screen there, all starting to come in. So, but don't get me wrong, I think that it's that's the daily range of the pound so far. Very, very tiny flat range so far. So not a lot going on just yet, but so that range should get expanded. It's just a case of in which direction, and of course you don't want to get caught on one side or the other, but the trade from the euro yesterday just ran out of steam, and then they all had a nice run yesterday, and then they all had the same sort of rollover. So we'll see what happens, and we'll come back to this. Okay, just back here, and looks like I might be trading the pound soon. On a break at right at the lows, I'll short it right down there as it goes if it gets down there. We've got everything's rolling. So I'm looking to go with that, especially this hourly chart. we've got that very narrow daily range so far. It's going to have to expand that range one way or another. The momentum and everything is crossing to the downside on this hourly chart, so I'm going to be aggressive with the stop losses. The stops will be at the highs of these hourly bar there, about 58, 59, and shorting it down there at about 46 or so. I'll catch it at 46 because, well, it'll be about 46. Let's see how we go. I'll press pause now. Okay, so the pound's bouncing at the moment, so no decision needed to be made because we haven't come down to break that 125.46 zone. So for the time being, just sit back and watch. Okay, we're just back, and we can see that the pound very quickly in this last 5-10 minutes has just rolled straight back over again, or rolling over. So we'll see if we are going to get this trade down here. Now, of course, I could just put orders in rather than doing it manually, but I like doing it manually if I get the chance to when I'm doing the recordings, because you actually just see me hitting the buttons. But actually, it usually costs me a bit more money by doing it manually because of the fills. But anyway, that's what we're doing. So we are close here. So fingers on the triggers. Okay, short. Also, I've just hit buy. Oh my god, I just hit buy. Did you see that? I just hit buy. What an idiot. Now I've got to try and get another unit short in. I'm pretty sure I hit buy. I'm going to have to just get another short in. I'm pretty sure I hit buy. I'm just going to bring the... see if I can find the... Yeah, I did. Right, so I'm just getting the thing off screen. The positions tab. I've got a long in there. Look, I went and put a long in. Where's the long? I've got a long in there. Anyway, it's in there. I'm just going to quickly sort this out off screen. See, look, execution error. Hit the wrong button. Where's the long? There it is. So I better get out of that, hadn't I? Close. Right. Right, I've closed the long. Oh, I've only got 2 in short. I haven't got 3 in short. 3 open. No, I've only got 2 in short. Right. This is a right old mess. Let's get another ticket. I thought I'd hit it again. I'll get another ticket. I'm just shorting it off screen quickly. Right, okay. So that's cost me a little bit there. So I'll bring the entries over. Let me just get... because I've got to put the stop losses in. So we're in now, but that cost me just a couple of more pips there. It's cost me a pip or so in the entry as well. So let's get these stops put in first of all, and then on these entries, and then I'll show you it all. Right, so that stop is still going to be up at 150, 125, 59, 1.2559. Well, it's actually 58 actually. So actually, I'll double check. Come on, are you moving? Well, it's 5.8 on mine. I'll put it in at 5.9, but it really is only has to be 5.8 on mine. But because basically Saxo Bank has to go above through 58, which means it would be about 59. Actually, yes. So 58 would mean a stop out at 59. So I'll put that in there. 125.58, 1.2558, and 1.2558. I'll just double check I've got those in correctly off screen. Yes. And now I'm going to show you there's the mistake here, where I went long instead of short, hit the wrong side, and it cost me £10. Okay, so there you go. So there's the open trades as we stand. Okay. Okay, we'll see if we can get a roll. So coming back to that daily chart, still very, very small range day at the moment. Very, very small range day. So the scope is there. But of course, it could expand its range to the upside, not the downside. But as it stands, the momentum is to the downside on the hourly chart. So the scope is there for a bit of downside. I am bit skeptical as to how much downside we get today, so I'll try and manage this relatively aggressively if I can. I'd like to see it get down into this zone down here, down into the 125.20s. That would be the target area. If I go take that back out to the daily chart, 125. Well, sometimes a good, if you're day trading, a good little thing to do is just to well, firstly I'll put the data window up. I'll just then put an average true range on, just briefly. So the ATR is at 100 pips, 101 pips there, right? Okay, so it's 100 pips, and so far, I mean, the recent days have not been that great, have they? But today's range, so far, we've made a high of 125.52. Sorry, no, we haven't. 125.71 and a low of 125.41. So it's about 30 pips so far, the daily range. But recently we haven't been doing those 100 pips. If we look at yesterday's high and low, 126.24. Oh no, we did to 125.20. No, we did. So I take it back. So so if I'm looking for 125.20, as that's only another however many pips that is, 20 odd pips. Um, and that's still not, the full range. But again, this could very easily have a little bit of a rundown and then still reverse all the way back up again. So the way that the price action, as we can see, has been in recent days. So, but certainly the scope is there from a range perspective, to have a run down, push down to these lows down here. So we'll see how we get on. The momentum is all to the downside at the moment, and so it's the right trade to be on. But you always, as a trader, have to then put whatever you're seeing on your intraday into some sort of context as to what's going on the higher time frames as well. So yes, everything is lined up to the downside, but as I've just shown you there on the daily chart, yes, we've got more of a range to create yet for the day, but I'm also conscious of the fact that it's been quite sideways on the daily chart, and it could have a little bit of a rundown and then a blip and then come straight back up again. So a bit like yesterday, and so we'll see. Press pause for now. Okay, just back here, and as we can see, the pound having come down a little bit, it's now just bouncing all the way up, so it's getting closer to my stop up here, about 59, so it's not far away in fact. And really with this candle here, we're quarter to 10 in the morning. It's completely reversed, isn't it? At the moment, I need this to close right the way back down negative. The momentum switching, which you can't quite see. All right, it's 15 minutes to go. You never know. Could sell off just a little bit in the next 15 minutes, and then it's all looking okay again. But certainly at this stage, it's not looking great. Euro's having a great run, so I probably am going to be edging along into the euro. That's having a great run here. So I'm just waiting for 10 a.m. and then I'll be looking to put a long in. I'll be edging my way in. I was just saying to the guys in the trading room here that I'll edge in because it's not ideal. It's come up into this hourly 50 here, but I love the momentum of this move at the moment on the lower time frames. The daily range of the euro is still not that big as yet. It could be it chops around all over the place, and I just get chopped up today. That is certainly a potential with the euro group meetings today and different pieces of news coming out. But the trend is up, and overall, and just like yesterday's trade on the euro, I'm happy to be on the long side, and if it runs, then it could be a half decent run. So we'll come back to this in a bit. Okay, just back, and I have been stopped out on the pound, but look at this euro. I have to go long. The risk is there is obviously all this news out today about the European stuff, but the bottom line is, I'm just getting a ticket ready. That euro, we've got 2 minutes to go in the end of this candle. So, and I'm not bothered about, there we go. Paying up or whatever, that sort of thing doesn't bother me. So in at 16 for now. Now I'm putting in a half unit I'll be looking to add to this. So I'm tentatively putting this unit in now, and then we'll be looking to build this position through the day, in fact. So because if the euro does carry on coming up, so I've just gone long euro. If it does carry on coming up, then bear with me. I just realised I've got to tell the guys on the app. But if it does carry on coming up, then I can carry on adding to it. If it does a little pullback, then I might be able to add that, get that, because I've only put that half size in at the moment. Obviously, I want to build the position. So let's see if we can do it. I'll show you the cable trade in a moment, but let me just sort out this stuff on the app for our traders, and I'll come back. Say finish off the video. Right, okay, let's show you the losses. So far, remember I took that loss on the euro yesterday of 100 and I can't remember what it was last night now. I think it was about £180, something like that. And here's another 180 on this. So they're both within the range. The risk, like I say, always risking around about £200 per trade. I can risk 200 to 300, but I've been keeping it around about 200. It depends on the trade and just how where the stops are and stuff like that, really. But so yesterday loss, today loss. So far. So we'll see how this euro is going to progress. The pound, coming back to that, okay, I mean, that had the momentum to the downside and it's just reversed. But if we go back out to its daily chart, that is still very much a tiny range day here at the moment. So scope is still very much there for this to expand its range, as I was talking about. Maybe it goes to the upside, maybe it rolls back over again. But with a candle like that, you'd think, well, maybe it's going to go to the upside. So, but anyway, my focus is going to be on that euro because it's cleaner in that regard to the upside. I do want to get the second unit in at some point. So the good price momentum, but like I keep saying, I'm well aware of the news, and this could all be noise today. And then the next piece of news that comes out out of eurozone, and it sent it back down in regards to the agreement across the countries with regards to the bailout fund. So, and if all of a sudden they sort of say, oh, there's no agreement, we're kicking the can down the road, then all of a sudden maybe euro falls back over today. And if that's going to be the case, fine. But the trend overall has been to the upside. We've hit resistance on the daily charts, but sometimes you have to say, well, we've been hitting that several times now, and so maybe actually this is we're actually going to still power on through this. So as I said yesterday in yesterday's video, I'd be looking at 114.94 overall. And that is something I'd be looking if I can build a position here today. So I've got to consider whether I want to build a position on a pullback here. So if it just starts pulling back straight away, do I want to build on that and put the second half in there? But then the risk is that this is just a one bar wonder and it just rolls over. Or do I let it do a pullback and then buy on the next breakout, bit like I was doing yesterday? Yesterday we just ran out of time, so to speak, because it got late in the day and then everything just rolled over in the early evening. So I've got to make that decision here as to whether I want to put a second unit in on a pullback. So we'll see. Anyway, I'll press pause for now. One thing I nearly forgot was to put the stop loss in, so let's get a stop in on this. That was my entry there at 114.16. Yeah, 113.90. There we go. Right. So I was just talking to the guys in the trading room. So I'm just going to pause for the moment. Stay on this half unit at the moment, and then we'll see if we can build the position. Probably what I'm going to do is let it come down if it does pull back, and then if it then goes up, then I'll add the next. If it carries on going up from here, then I'll get in on a pullback a bit later. So either way, so let's see how we go as we go through the day. I'm really hopeful that the euro can actually explode today. I think the pound has got certainly a lot of scope to still expand its range, and so if the pound's expanding its range to that extent, then we may see something on the euro as well. So and then we can really try and do a trade here today where I'm building a position throughout the day almost. So that's what I'm looking at. Anyway, I'll press pause for now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put another order in on the euro to buy on the next breakout. So let's put a buy stop order in. Buy stop at 114.25, and I'll put that stop down there. This actually, at the moment, I thought it was going to be a different level, but 113.90 for now. If 113.90, so I put that order in. So what I'm looking at here, if I take it to a 5-minute chart, is basically a break of that high at some point. And I'm having to put the order in because I'm not going to be around for an hour or so. I've got a training session with my PT on Zoom, so that's going to be coming up soon. It's 10:53 at the moment, so I'll be doing that in the next 20 minutes. 11:15 I do that. So anyway, so that's the order on that, and so we'll see how that goes. That'll build it up, but this isn't over by any means. In that, even if that I get that second order in and it carries on going higher, at some point I'll be looking to see if I can add some more. Once I can trail the stops up a bit, then I'll be looking to see if I can add some more. So that's the scope there today with the euro, if it is going to go. Now let's go back to the pound, because the pound sold off just whilst over this last sort of 20 minutes or so, but it may just be having to think about it. But again, if the pound was to get back down to these lows, as I've been saying today, they've still got a very small daily range so far. So the scope is still there for it to expand that range. Now, could it be that I just get chopped trying to sell down here again, and then it just comes down a little bit, not enough, and then turns all the way back up again? That's the issue. The 4-hour chart, it's not really saying too much to me actually. So maybe I do have to leave it alone. I've given it one try, and maybe I'll leave it alone even if it does come down. So, but for now, it's the euro that I'm in, and so we're just going to see how that pans out. So I shall press pause for now, and I'll be back later on this. Okay, just back, and just literally just finished my workout, and we've been triggered into that trade while I've been gone. So so far so good. Hopefully this is not a repeat of yesterday, where the euro had a nice run up and then just rolled over. So far so good. What would be ideal would be maybe a congestion. What's it, 12:15 now? Maybe a consolidation for an hour or two, and then to build for another leg and breakout outside yesterday's highs. So that would be ideal to have something like that. Yeah, the trade that I see has triggered. So I'll bring all that up later, but it triggered in. So we'll see how we go now, and we'll assess the markets as we go through this afternoon. I'll press pause for now. Okay, just back again. So we're getting the pullback now on the euro. So what I'm now looking for is a similar repeat process of what happened earlier. So I'm letting it pull back. I'm not going to buy it on a pullback because, well, at the moment, from a risk management perspective, we've put the trades on. I can't actually add in until I can move those initial stops up. So what I'm going to do is put an order in to buy on a break of this high, which is I think around about 30. So let's go and have a look. About 32 we'll put that in at. I'm quite happy paying up, because if it's going up, then hopefully we're going to flurry upwards anyway. So, and then what will happen is I'll put this order in, I'll bring the ticket up in a minute, and then that's if it goes up, of course. If it comes down, then I'm not adding any more to the position. If it goes up, then I'll start trailing that stop up. So I'm not trailing the stop up yet, I'm just leaving the stop where it is. So if we do come up later this afternoon, then it'll trigger me in. So that's the plan. So I'm just going to, so it enables me to basically add yet another unit. So let's put the order in. So it's going to be a buy stop at 114. I'll just say 32, and then I'll put I haven't even thought about the stop loss at the moment, but so I'll be moving those, and this is only going to be on 150,000. So I've got 100,000 in there at the moment, so I'll leave it at 50,000. So it'll be the half size add in. So as far as the stop loss is concerned, I can have that basically, because I'm going to be moving the stops up by 10 pips on each of those, so it's a collective of 20 pips. So I definitely know I can afford to have a stop of 20 pips. So I'll put the stop in at, on this, 114.12. There we go. Easy. Okay, and as I said earlier on, this could easily roll back over again, do a repeat of yesterday. Some of the other markets, pound dollars still relatively weak, but we're just going to wait and see if it's going to do anything more here this after today. So watch this space, I guess. So we'll see as we go through the afternoon. I'll press pause for now. Okay, just back. It's now 2:45. We've been chatting away, talking about when I got told off for being too noisy in the middle of an Eagles concert last year. Um, so I was just talking to the guys about that. We've just been sharing stories and restaurants and favourite foods here. So the euro, as you can see, is pretty much just consolidated for the last few hours. It's just coming up a little bit again. Is it going to break out and fill me on that order? So if I go back to a 5 minute chart, so it needs to get break 130, or sorry, 114.32. And if it can, then I'll get triggered into that last order. And then at that point, I will trail my stops up on the first two positions up to 114. Okay, and then we'll see if we can have a little bit of a run here this afternoon, or what it's going to do, or if this is all just a bit of noise. So, but it's holding, but at 10 to 3, are we going to get a flurry this afternoon, or are we going to get, as I said earlier on, a repeat exercise of yesterday a bit later? So we'll have to see. It still feels to me like a coiled spring here today, and one way or another, either to the upside or to the downside, we're going to get a bit of a move. If it goes to the downside, there's not really anything I can do about that, but we'll see if we can get a bit of a move one way or another anyway. So I'll press pause now, come back in a minute. Okay, so I just made a real boo-boo. I pressed stop. When I press pause I then press stop instead of pause. So I'm now starting a fresh recording, and I'll just match these together. But anyway, so let's see if we get a little flurry here and get triggered into this this trade. Am I going to get triggered in? It's close, isn't it? Yeah, it must be. Come on, 32. It's gone beyond 32. What are you doing, Saxo Bank? What's happened to my order? I'm just checking off screen. Why have I not been triggered in? That should have triggered me in. That I can see the order sitting there at 32, and it's just gone beyond 32. So I should be filled on this, but oh no, I have been. Phew. Yeah, I have been. They took their time filling me there, but okay. So I'm filled in. Filled in. Okay, so let's bring up the box. So I now need to move those stops up on the others. Ignore the totals because that's swing trades. So I need to bring the stops up on these positions now. These two. So let's bring the stops up here to 114. That keeps the risk the same as I said earlier on, and there we go. By moving the stops on those, so it has to. Basically, it has to hold up now. Now I'm trailing the stop up. We need to get that move going. So, okay, stops are moved, triggered in. Could this just be another marginal new high and it comes off again? Of course, it could be. We want to see a bit of a flurry of activity. Could I be really aggressive and move my stop up below these lows? If I wanted to be super aggressive day trader, I could trail my stops up below these lows and say, right, it's got to go now. And that could happen if we get a bit of a a follow through to this candle, maybe because it's 252. It could happen. But I've been trying to give it a bit of slack here today, but it really does need to go. So we'll assess that in 10 minutes time. Right, just back. So I was just laughing because one of our members just made me laugh. I've been sat in the garden for the last hour or so. It's 5:15 now on Friday. Yeah, Euro's held up, but we've never had that oomph, that big break. What we sitting at 34, so no major break here as it's turning out, and I wouldn't have thought there would be now. So I'm going to be holding on to these into the weekend. The stops are down at 114 and 114.12 on that add-in. I'm going to keep the video going for now until tonight because I don't know what it's going to do. I'm out for dinner this evening and I'll wrap this up later this evening, I guess, and then get this out to you in the morning. So let's have a look. Well, yeah. So we've got the entry was at 114.17. The add-in at 25 or so. I think I got filled at 26, and then the other one at 33. Although the order was at 32. So those are the entries. I'm looking really for 114.94 as a target, and so it's sort of 70 odd pips. Whatever from the average price. The average price is about 25 across those three entries, so it's about just under 70 pips. So which is roughly around about £800 if it can get there next week, maybe if it can and it doesn't gap down on Sunday night. Because I'm going to hold this into Sunday, and I've been talking to the guys about this. If it was to hold up around here, I mean, again, I'll make a decision later, but providing it's sort of generally holding up with the stop down at 114, I wouldn't expect massive gaps on Sunday night, even at all. So happy enough holding into Sunday. So, but anyway, we'll still see what happens here this evening. But I very much doubt there's anything too much is going to go on now. It's just going to be a bit of noise, I'd have thought. So, but I'll keep coming back just in case. I'll press pause for now. Okay, finally, just back, and it's now 10:30 Friday night. I've just got back in, and the Euro's generally held up here today. It's literally just slam dunked in the final 5 minutes. If I show you a 5-minute candle, there you go. So it's sitting up at 114.38 just in before the last 5 minutes. So I'm not too worried about what's going on here. Although of course anything can happen going into Monday. So I think what I was saying earlier today is if it can go up to target, it'll be about a 4-to-1 overall risk reward off the total. So it works out as a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio trade. So going into next week, if this one pays out, remember I lost. Oh crikey, it's a long video now. Thursday, £185, something like that, on the Euro trade on Thursday, and then lost on cable this morning. And then if this one goes to target next week, so watch out, see if it gets to target, then I'll make twice as much as what I lost on those two trades, basically. So and that's the whole point of trading, isn't it? So it's all about risk and reward. It's not about necessarily always about high win rates. It's about being profitable. Profitability is more important than high win rates and stuff like that. So we'll see how this plans out, but let's have a quick look and see what the daily chart looks like. There you go. So a fairly decent day, but it's still got to see if we can break out through these highs. I think if we do break out, then that 115 zone is going to be definitely of interest for this market. So we'll see. So when you look at these markets next week, if we pop up, you'll know that I've hit target, and I can always do a review of it on my video midweek. But that's where we're at. So looking okay going into the end of the week, and we'll just see what happens. Didn't want to keep trailing the stops. It's important not to choke a trade as well, and trail the stops too aggressively. The stops are still down there. 114 and then 114.12 actually, isn't it, on that add-in? So that's looking a little bit closer, I must admit. But for now, let's see what happens Sunday night. If we come down, I've got stopped. If we go up, then the trade is still on. But it's one of those days today where it'd be lovely for it to be an absolute day trade, but you can't always get that out of a trade. And I'm not someone who's going to sit there and say, that's it, I'm coming out of a trade, when the overall theory behind that trade is still very much in play. I'm not going to just come out and say, oh, I'm going to bank a profit just because it's getting late. I'm not going to do that. So I'll sit on it. We'll see where we get to next week. Take care for now. Enjoy your weekends. This will be going out to you Saturday morning, and I'll see you next week. Take care for now.